Ever walk into a room and feel a shift? Even if no one said a word, your body knows the truth before your mind can actually name it or label it. That tightness that maybe you had in your chest, maybe the buzzing you felt and tingling on your skin, that sudden dip in your energy level. That's not just being sensitive or an empath. That is vibrational awareness. Your body is constantly picking up energy before your mind can even name it. But awareness is just the beginning. Vibrational intelligence is what actually happens when you start to truly understand what your body is telling you and you know how to shift your frequency on purpose with intent. So, today, that is what we are going to be exploring how your body is like a powerful tuning fork. It is an instrument that you can use to shift your frequency at any time. You're always sensing, sorting, and vibrating energy. Why not learn how to be your own alchemist and transmute frequencies that better align with you? Start shifting your frequency and return to your own natural resonance. Hey there, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of A Mindful Monday. That's right, I'm your host, your girl, Erica Trimnell, also known as, that's right, the Mindful Mistress, here to help you grow spiritually, embracing every single aspect of the journey while breaking free of your prism of limitations. Here at Prism Vibes, we are shifting as one does, right? We're shifting with cycles into a new dimension of healing, resonance, where the goal isn't just about recovery or the release aspect, it is actually about aligning and attuning to your own natural resonance. So, if you're ready to get back in tune and ready to heal yourself, let's begin now. Okay, so vibrational awareness versus vibrational intelligence. What is the difference? Well, I am going to break that down for you. Vibrational awareness, what we talked about in last week's episode, is really your ability to sense energy just as it is. So it's when you know something is maybe a little bit off without any proof. We talked about that last time and the importance of creating boundaries, aka energy filters around you so that you're able to better discern when there is that shift. So when you walk into a space, you immediately can feel the tension or the calmness, the peace in the room. Your body is picking up on that energy. Your body's picking up on other people's energy even before they speak. That's right. So think of it as noticing the background music of your life. It's subtle, but yet it is always playing, or the background music in your own movie, because you are the main star and you can design and co-create this as you like. Now, when it comes to vibrational intelligence, this is a little bit different. This is where awareness goes deeper. This is the ability to actually interpret that frequency or signal that your body is giving you and use tools, use other frequencies, maybe breath work, sound, and movement to shift the frequency, to alchemize that, and so that you can shift your own frequency. Stay aligned with your highest self in that moment, regardless of whether there is that chaotic energy around you. So awareness hears the music, if we're using this analogy, but it's the intelligence that actually chooses the song. And today, you are going to learn how to conduct your very own symphony. That's right. So some of you don't know, I did get a vocal scholarship. So when we talk about resonance and we talk about harmony, frequency, that all jives with me. So don't mind that I get a little bit nerdy when we talk about the frequencies. And then when I relate it back to music, that's just me doing an ode, a tip to what I say, I guess, my former life, or it feels like a lifetime ago, actually, where I was heavily into music and creating music and singing. But anywho, what I really want to impress upon us is that the body never forgets. It is really a living archive, a vibrational book written in the fascia, the breath, in our pulse. It's our own library of our experience. So when you were told, maybe at a younger age, to be quiet, that energy got stored somewhere, probably in your throat or your throat chakra. When you had to smile through a painful situation and you weren't true to yourself, that energy that settled in your chest around your heart. So when you brace for an emotional impact, your nervous system contracts and that gets held into a pattern in your body. Research actually shows that fascia stores your emotional trauma. Think about that. The fascia that is in between our muscles. Do you ever have a tightness or a pain? It's a muscle and you're like, oh, I pulled it maybe weeks ago, years ago, and it comes back and it radiates? Yeah, that is a stored experience in your body. Your nervous system remembers every single moment it didn't feel safe. I want you to think about that and maybe even pause, take a moment to reflect on that. Your body remembers every single moment it did not feel safe. Your heart field literally starts to broadcast this electromagnetic frequency and it shifts based on how you feel. We talked about this last time about how we are always, every part of our body has a frequency, and then we have this beautiful harmony, resonance when they are all together. And based on our environment, that can shift our energy. So today, like I said, we're taking that awareness that we learned last week and we're going a little bit deeper into actual vibrational intelligence, the ability to not only notice that, but be able to shift it. So I have a client story, and a client once told me that, I thought I had forgiven, but my body didn't. And this is key right here, because a lot of times when I am working with clients, I pull on that somatic energy. I want people to develop that vibrational awareness and understand their body signals when something is off or when it is remembering a past experience that gets triggered by the present. So every time when they encountered a small trigger, their shoulders would start to lock up. Like their body wasn't trying to finish that story because the body was trying to actually finish that story because it never actually got closure. So the body was preparing for that emotional hit from the last time. Your body is always, like I said, broadcasting that wisdom to us. You just have to learn the language. Now, if you know me or you have watched any of my videos, you know I like to bring the element of trauma up. And why I bring trauma is because trauma really is a wound. And I'm just going to be real. It is my belief that 99.99999% of us have had at least one trauma in our lives. Now, what could be traumatic for me and what stresses my body out could be completely different to you. So I want to talk about what happens when trauma actually enters the picture when we talk about this conversation of vibrational awareness and vibrational intelligence. Trauma, whether it is a single event or years of subtle or emotional trauma neglect, it starts to interrupt your natural frequency. It distorts your vibration by keeping your nervous system stuck in a survival mode. So that survival mode has a different frequency than your natural vibration. So some ways that this might come in your body, and you're sensing your body, you could be hyper aware or very emotionally reactive. You could be tired, but yet at the same time wired. You could be numb and disconnect from your body. That disassociation is very popular. Or you could be constantly off, but unable to explain it, unable to explain why you always feel off. Or maybe you have categorized it as, I always feel like I'm the black sheep, or I'm out of place, or I don't belong. This could be because you have suffered some type of trauma, and this is your body's response to keeping you safe and keeping you protected. You know, you were born in tune, so there's nothing inherently wrong with you, but trauma acts like a static, making it hard to hear your own frequency. So the truth is, you are not broken, you are not dramatic, you are just vibrationally out of sync. You're out of tune. Your body just needs to be recalibrated or attuned, aligned, so you can get your resonance back. And the ways that you can do this and how I can help you do this are gently. I have a method that you can use, and there are plenty of things that you can use, but it's called Feel, Name, Shift Protocol. So I love using this particular method with myself personally, and also with my clients. So this is how we can retune in real time. I'm all about giving us some tips and tricks and tools. So the first step is to feel. This is where you take a pause and you drop into your body. Maybe you ask yourself, what is happening in my body right now? Where do you feel any sensations, tension, numbness, buzzing, tired, fatigue? Then I want you to name it. Put words to this sensation. It doesn't even have to make sense. You can give it an X, tightness. You can say there's a buzzy feeling, or there's a warm feeling, or there's a heavy feeling, or I feel expansive. Just being able to take note and name it for yourself. Maybe you feel frozen. Naming it is what really creates space between you and this. It brings the unconscious energy into the conscious mind, into our reality, so we can go to the next phase, which is shifting it. So now shifting energy, you're going to use vibrational tools, figuring out what works best for you. Maybe it's through breath, and so you exhale slowly. Maybe it's through movement or sound. Maybe you need to hum. Maybe you need to shake your hands out, shake your body, maybe placing your hand on your heart. These are all frequencies that you can use to retune your body. You can do a visualization and maybe imagine the glowing light taking care of whatever that buzzing is or that tightness. So this is certainly something we can do together. Maybe let's take a deep inhale, hold it, exhale. Maybe a nice get some vibration in our lips and our chest, and let that be our reset so that we can reconnect to our own resonance. Another beautiful piece of this practice is the accountability piece. Now it's up to you. This is an invitation. You can create a journal, a vibration journal, a vibe journal, if you will, where throughout the week you start to log these incidents, how you felt, what you named it, what energy you used to shift it, and then what transpired after this. When you start to build your own vibrational intelligence, which is what we're doing, you then start learning what works best for you, what vibration energy, like we talked about last week. Not every sound bath is for you and for you in that moment. Not every breath work is for you and accessible to you. Not every plant medicine is for you and accessible to you in that moment. So when you start to realize that, hey, this buzzing feeling, is something that I'm really good at using the energy of movement to shift it. Then you are the alchemist. Then you have that high VQ, if you will, being able to shape and co-create the life that you want, creating this narrative. So you'll notice that the energetic patterns you once had, you start to gain clarity on how your body actually speaks to you and how you want to communicate back to that. Now, the piece of this is really putting it all together, right, in a practical sense. Your body, again, like I mentioned, it is a tuning fork. It's always sensing, it's always vibrating. And trauma is something that really detunes or takes us out of tune of our natural frequency. You can certainly develop the vibrational awareness and vibrational intelligence to shift your own energy back to your natural state. You are that tuning fork. So remember, you do not need to escape your emotions. You do not need to escape your body. You need to actually hear it, listen, know that the frequency of you is still inside, even if it's under the static. So let's try our best to tune in so we aren't tuning out the beautiful symphony that we have. And until next week, where we're going to dive into the powerful truth of our emotions and how they are frequency. I always talk about their teachers, but they are all frequency teachers with true function and purpose. They're not here to overwhelm us, but really here to be our guides. So if you like what I was talking about, if this resonated with you, put a comment down below, a like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. It was a pleasure being here with you today on this Mindful Monday. Share this with someone you love. And of course, if you have any questions or, maybe something else you want to learn that I didn't cover in today's episode, I'd love to hear that as well. Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know what has shifted for you and how you became your own alchemist and attuned to your natural frequency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present and listening to your body. Thank you. And until next time, I'm Erica Chanel, your mindful mistress. Bye.